Hey everyone, welcome back. I am going live now to talk about what to do before spending another dollar on ads. So I'm just going to briefly go live on my, let's see, hold on. Um, oh, wait, never mind. I was going to go live on my Patreon account, but I don't think I'll do that. Let's see if it's going to give me any problems. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Katana. I'm the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. Today, I'm going live from YouTube and I'm going live from Patreon and I'm going live from Facebook. So we are talking about small business owners, what to do before spending another dollar on ads. Are you an entrepreneur that's struggling with trying to play the game of, advertisements, promotion, influencers, brand ambassador programs? What do I do? Where do I go to promote and expand my business? Well, I'm going to make it a little easier for you when it comes to the ad section, hopefully, by giving you three things that you want to focus on doing before you spend another dollar on ads or advertising or advertisements. Anything that's about promotion and advertising your business. The first thing is have an idea of who you are. Know who you are as a brand. Know who you are as an individual. Know what your identity is. Because if you don't kind of already have an idea of that, it's almost like, I'm not saying it's a waste of time, but you could waste money. You could end up wasting money. And I learned this very quickly. My first time that I ever did a Facebook or Instagram ad, it was like years ago. And I think it was when I first started, I did an ad. It was like $200 or something. And I put everything out there to promote my business. But because I did have an idea of who I was, but I didn't know who I was talking to. I was just putting an ad out there to promote the products that I had available. But had I done a little bit deeper research on, a little bit more research on who I was, but also on who I was speaking to, that ad would have probably been more effective. So I'm not going to say that the ad didn't work simply because those ads don't work. I'm going to say that I didn't have the research. I didn't have the experience and skills to know how to utilize that properly. And so quickly in that moment, I knew from that day forward, I was going to make those sales happen, but it was just going to have to be me. And that's what I did. And by doing that, I was able to gain my own sales, my own leads, clients, all of that. But in the same time, I also learned a very beautiful and valuable lesson of ads and marketing, which is that it is a test the waters field. So you do have to put things out there and see how well they do and study things and do surveys and do research on what works with your target audience, but also test it on your brand too. And once you do that and you understand that it's not a instant gratification field, you don't get discouraged when things don't go your way instantly, because you know that it's a with time thing and it's a trial thing. So after you get to that place where you are doing those trials and stuff, you get to what we call a sweet spot in marketing. And that is where you have hit the sweet spot of who it is you're speaking to, what it is that you're providing to them, and how you're speaking to them. Because whatever it is you're saying to them is really resonating. And the first time that I think I ever hit a sweet spot was on my Facebook business page, and it was a podcast interview that I did. I was already building up, but I didn't stop and I didn't allow, that one experience from years ago to discourage me and make me feel like there was just no hope. I just kept promoting on my own. So before you go and spend money on these ads, that's the first thing. Have an idea of who you are. The second thing is know your target audience. So this goes back to what I was saying with my ad. Know who it is that you're speaking to, but in the same breath, also know what it is that you're speaking about. Who are you? What is your brand about? What's important to you. And then when I say know your target audience, I'm not just saying to say, oh, I sell to moms. I help moms find jewelry. Be specific. I help mothers who love to go out on events and treat themselves, even though they have a very hectic and busy work life. Find jewelry and accessories that's perfect for any occasion and durable, so that when they have little ones, it's not going to be pulled, teared, broken, things like that. Now, that's a little bit more specific. That, I'm not saying you have to get that specific, but I would highly recommend it. If you get as specific as you can about what it is that you're doing, what your mission is and who you're speaking to. And then when you know your target audience, I'm not just talking about that. I'm also talking about what do they like to do? Understanding them on a deeper level. I would say that I spent a lot of my years doing this, which is a part of the reason why my client retention rate is so high. But also, I've been able to work with people for multiple years, and they've brought me clients that I've continued to work with for multiple years. It comes from understanding each client. Everyone is a little bit different. Even though I'm providing a solution, I understand my target audience. I understand the things that they go through. I understand the things that stress them out. I've understood what goes through their head as an entrepreneur, what different stages they're in when it comes to transitioning in their business. So by understanding these things, you can create content that actually speaks to them while also speaks to you internally because it aligns with your values and who your brand is. So got to know your target audience, got to study it like the back of your hands. The third thing, decide on how much you're going to spend on a service and understand how much that service is going to be responsible for delivering to you. This is the most important one. I cannot stress this enough. It's extremely important. And I'm going to break it down because it's in multiple different parts of your business. I have seen a person invest less than $100. I mean, an investment is an investment, right? So I'm never going to discredit it. But they invested less than $100 in something, and they were expecting thousands and thousands of dollars of results. They wanted to be a millionaire overnight. Depending on what you're investing in, it could make you that millionaire overnight. Like you invest in that stock, you invest in whatever, it could. But the reality for a lot of people in business especially is that when you are investing in something or purchasing a service, it is covering a certain part of your business unless you are buying the full package. And that means you're buying the advertising, the marketing, the business manager, the person that takes over the sales. You're buying all of that so you don't have to do anything. Okay? Now, there's levels to this. So let me try to break this down without confusing things. Hey, thanks for joining. Let's use what can we do? Let's do social media management as an example. Okay. So you hire a social media manager, right? There's different types of social media managers. They all have different things that they deliver. Some of them might be same across the board or similar, but depending on what you're investing, many cases is going to determine what you're receiving. So if you pay for a social media service, I'll use one of mine as an example. I had a sale that was like $300. It came with a specific package. This is what you receive with this package. You got to make sure, number one, you're prepared to receive that. And number two, you know that this covers a certain part of your business. It does not cover every other part. So by purchasing this social media management package, you're not purchasing business coaching, ongoing business coaching and assessment. You're not purchasing website design and critiquing. You're not purchasing business management where a person is on you, telling you what needs to get done for your business. You're not purchasing virtual assistant work. You're purchasing a social media manager. Unless the package that you purchased provides all of that underneath it. And some people might provide all of that. But even with that, the price point, you need to be checking, are you able to invest in whatever price point they have? And have you looked to see the results that they've been able to deliver for other people and show that they have beautiful graphics, that they know what they're doing, that they can produce something that's going to help you elevate and get to the next level, right? So I say all of that to say sometimes people will go and pay money to be advertised on a platform or to be advertised on Facebook ads, and they're expecting that payment to do the whole bulk work for everything. Like I pay for this ad and now I can just kind of sit chill. I think that part of that comes from, I'm not blaming anyone, but I think that it comes from the society that we're in where we have this instant gratification model in a lot of things in our life. Social media, for example, you make a post, somebody likes that post instantly. There's a feeling, there's a rush, there's a high that you get from that instant gratification, right? And we see it day by day in so many different areas of our lives. And so I believe that culture has translated a little bit more, even more so than in the past, into business, where people think that because they buy one thing, that covers everything. So because I purchased this Facebook ad, I'm going to have $10,000 in sales after spending, $500 on this ad. I should see $10,000 in sales. When in reality, you could very much spend $500 on this ad and have $0 in sales after that Facebook ad is ran. So that's for a lot of things in business. And I'm giving a bonus tip here just for anyone that's new to business, but it happens in other areas too. For example, if you buy or hire, let's say you hire a graphic designer. Okay, so they're designing the website for you. They send it to you. That does not cover them teaching you and training you on how to utilize it, right? Now, if you want that, you can ask. Some people might cover it, but the price point, it's going to be different. So you need to be asking these designers, you need to be asking these contractors what all you're going to receive with the price that you're paying, what results or what expectations you should expect when you're getting it. And then you need to document that, because that right there is a portion of your business. It is not all of your business. And the biggest mindset hack that people have to understand that will help you grow sales and entrepreneurship and make you still be here after years, because the first 5 years is the hardest part. You got to fight through those first 5 years. But the biggest mindset hack is understanding that you're still responsible for every part of your business. You're responsible. When you delegate it to somebody who is of quality, trust them, step back and let them do their thing, and don't make their job harder. You don't need to make it easy, but don't make it harder. Because when you make something harder for anybody, you're making less money. That's, as an entrepreneur, that's a huge mindset hack that we have to understand. So when you go and you hire these people and you hire them to do one part of your business or a portion, you cannot sit back and lounge and chill and then think that you're going to be a millionaire or you're going to be making sales. If you have other areas of your business that you have to work on, if you hire a website designer, but you didn't hire a sales associate, then you still have to sell in your business. You cannot hire someone and think like sales just going to come flowing in. Who's promoting the website? If you hired them to design the website, you didn't hire them to promote it as well, then they're designing it and they're handing it off to you. It's now your job to promote it. You can't just sit back and chill and then say, you designed this website for me and I didn't get any sales from it. They only designed the website for you. It's similar to, and let me flip this because this is going to make so much sense for anyone that's new to business who's stepping from a 9-to-5 culture, because 9-to-5 culture and entrepreneurship culture are two different cultures. I promise you. So once you understand that, you're going to do much better, and it's going to help your mindset because you're not going to be so discouraged when things don't go the way you thought they should go or how they're going. But in a 9-to-5 culture, you have a manager, right? This manager walks up to you. Hey, thanks for joining. Happy Saturday. I almost say happy Thursday. So let's do some scenarios real quick. Your manager walks up to you and they say, hey, I need you to train somebody for me today. I need you to train somebody. And in your job description, it states you are to sell the products, you are to fold the clothes, and you are to be trained. It does not say anything about you training and onboarding someone else. So when you go and your manager comes to you and says, I need you to train somebody today, and then tomorrow I need you to train another person. I'm going to get you on a schedule to train. But your manager does not offer a payment increase and say, hey, I want to pay you more so that you can train these people. I want to give you a promotion so that you can train these people. How do you feel? How do you feel? And how do you respond to that? Have you ever had that happen to you in your 9-to-5 job? And when you had it happen to you, how did you feel? This is going to be a learning opportunity for everybody, including service providers. So just answer in the chat if you want to, or just keep that thought with you, keep that feeling with you. Now, when you become an entrepreneur, you are now stepping from being that employee and, only that employee or that worker to now being the person that everyone is looking up to. Whether you are hiring contractors or employees, you are now the leader versus you having somebody else that leads you, right? So you being the leader and hiring a contractor or a team member to do a specific task and then coming to them and expecting them to do more, or saying to them, you did this website, but I'm just not seeing any promotion of it. I'm not seeing any sales growth. Knowing that you didn't hire them to advertise the website, you might not have even talked about the website. I've talked to professionals that have given me honest feedback and said, oh yeah, I had this website done, but I haven't even promoted it yet. But then we will quickly go into the mindset of we're not seeing enough sales and growth. This didn't work for my business. This is not helping me, but you didn't promote it. And you didn't hire that person to do the promoting. That's not in their job title. If they did it, Now that's just because they wanted to support you, because it's a service, it's a paid service, and they probably know that as a service provider, but they still wanted to support you. Because I have done that in the past in many cases where I design something for someone and then I promote it, because in my mind, or from my mindset, I felt that promoting it shows people the work that I'm able to deliver, and it allows them to be advertised and showcased so that other clients can go and purchase from them. So that's what I did in the past as a designer, to show people I was real and that I was credible. However, it was not in my job description that I need to go and advertise your website or promote your website every single day actively like a full-time sales associate. My job description, what I was paid to do, was to deliver the product based off of what you gave me, and the product was delivered. So the same way you feel when you go to a 9 to 5 and your manager turns to you and says, hey, I need you to start training people, or they start evaluating you on your review for why you won't be able to get a raise, and they're using other outside factors that have nothing to do with the things that you were paid to do, is the same way that a contractor or a team member would feel if you, as an entrepreneur or a leader, are looking at them to be the solution, solve all, when you have not allocated the funding for them to do that. You're wanting more, but you're not willing to allocate funding to give more. And sometimes even giving more is not enough for what it is that you're requesting of them. We have to be realistic with our request, and we have to be realistic with the goals that we set as entrepreneurs. And so that right there alone, I have seen it and how it has affected the mental of entrepreneurs, because when they don't see the sales or the growth that they were expecting, they get discouraged, when in reality, and they think they get discouraged, but most importantly, they think that it's not achievable, it's not attainable, when in reality, it is attainable when you are realistic and you set realistic goals and you document what it is that you're expecting from one area of your business. So it is realistic. You can gain sales. But what you need to do in the future is, when you hire that graphic designer, you need to say, are you also able to promote the website, and does that require extra funding? And how much will you be promoting it? That is the most important part. How much will you be promoting it? Because you can have your brand advertised on multiple platforms, shopping directories, websites, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. You can have it advertised everywhere. But how frequently are you having it advertised? And how big is the audience? These are questions that you have to ask yourself, and you have to ask the person that you are getting the website or the advertisement done for. You know why? Because if someone comes to you and they say, I can advertise your business, and you say, okay, great. How many people are you going to be promoting this to? How many members do you have? I'll give you a perfect example. I advertise my business directory, my small business directory at bossbayblog.com, to a business owner. And before they decided to become a member, they asked me, how many members do you have? At the time, I had over 50 members. So I was able to say, I have over 50 members listed in our directory nationwide that provide this, and that. Some of the industries that will align with yours or complement yours are this, and this. And I could give them that information. From that point, they were able to make a decision and say, I do want to go ahead and be advertised in your directory. And when I say 50 members, I'm talking about 50 directory members that are being advertised as well. I'm not talking about the shoppers, the viewers, the platform, the subscribers. That's a different number. But as far as the businesses that I am advertising, I told them that number. And from that number, they then asked about platforms. And I could say, oh, I have a YouTube channel. We have, I think at the time it was like 50 or 60 subscribers, but now we have over 200. But I have a YouTube channel. I have X amount of subscribers. I receive X amount of views in a month. My website receives X amount of traffic. I was able to give them those numbers so you can see how much your brand is being exposed. And once you see that exposure and you see the platform that you're going to, and you ask what the expectations are of that platform, you can decide if you want to sign up. After you sign up, you're now going to be a part of that. But what you need to take into account is that is one part of advertisement for your business. So you don't join and then say, well, I'm done promoting for the rest of my life. That's not how that works. Not if you want to see growth. You have to keep promoting. You have to document, okay, I'm doing this on this platform. I need to be doing this on that platform to bring in views here. I need to be doing that on that platform to bring in views here. And if you have more than one type of target audience, you need to be on a different platform for each type of target audience. And you need to have your marketing or your advertising directed to that type of target audience. So it's not that you can't be successful and see sales. It's that you start off with one area, and then because you only did it in that one area, but you didn't do it in the rest, you assume that one area was going to just somehow cover all of them. You're now feeling discouraged, like you're not going to be able to reach your goals. But the reality is that you didn't hire enough people for the different positions that are required for your business, or you just didn't cover those roles. Because let me make sure I clarify, if you don't have the funding to hire people to do those things, you can still make sales. I didn't have the funding to hire people when I started to do all of these different things, and I still grew my business and made sales. Okay, clients that came and spent over thousands of dollars with my brand. And that's because I understood that since I didn't hire anybody to do it, it just has to get done. So I can't hire a graphic designer and then be telling them, oh, I'm not gaining any sales, when I know I didn't hire them to be a sales associate. That's just not how that works. And that is one of the biggest concepts, that if you do not understand that concept, do not go spending money on advertisements. Do not go spending money on business services. Don't spend money on anything until you understand the concept of hiring someone to do work, paying them a certain price, understanding what comes with the price that you're paying, understanding the value of what you're receiving. That's extremely important. And deciding on if you're able to pay more, if you're wanting to add more. If you're not, then don't expect to be receiving more. Expect to receive exactly what you paid for, and continue to fill those other areas in your business that need to be taken care of. If you keep doing that and you operate from that mindset, you will see sales growth. You'll see it if you just keep going, you don't stop, and you continue to look at what areas of your business you need growth in. A great example, business owner was like, okay, you know what? I need to elevate my brand. I do. I want more people to see a higher quality. People are coming and they're not really shopping. I'm wondering why. By analyzing, I could tell her website, your website. Your website's just a little choppy. It's not as clean and crisp as transitioned as it could be. That's why. So in the process of sharing that information, we went ahead and got her a professional website. Now, after about maybe a month or 2 months, we come back, we do a follow-up after you've been giving your instructions. And I was like, okay, how's it going? Have you been promoting the new website? No, I haven't. Okay. Well, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about sales and just, how I can get people to like spend money and really see me. And I'm like, what website do you promote? Oh, I promote this. Okay. That's the website they're going to go to. If you want them to go to the website that's easier, shoppable, clean, crisp, then you need to be promoting that website, because that's what you stated you wanted to do. Now, had she hired me to do the promotion of the website, I can do that as well, because I do have a virtual assistant role. I do have business advertising and promoting as well. But even then, I can tell you the level that you'll be advertised, promoted, and assisted. So you can decide on if that's enough for you or if you're wanting more, because depending on what your funding is, we might be able to do more and I might be able to allocate more. But if it's at a limited space, that's okay. We can work with that, or you can continue to look for alternatives that make sense for you, or hire a little bit and do the rest. Outsource a little, do the rest. That's what we have to get into the mindset of. So those are the 3 things that you want to do before you spend another dollar on ads. I'm going to repeat them in my experience in business. The first one, have an idea of who you are. Know who you are. What do you stand for? What do you want people to feel when they look at your brand? Do you want them to feel accountable, driven, a sense of urgency, positive, proactive, solution oriented? Those are my words. Like, my words are, let's get to this money. Let's grow. Let's elevate. Let's go to the next step. That's what my words are. That's how I want people to feel when they get here. I want them to feel amped up to get to the next step. And also solution oriented, and also like there's community, and also like they're not alone, and there's always support. There's always support available. So that's me. Now for you, what do you want people to feel, and who is your identity as a brand? What's important to your brand? What are your values? The next thing, your target audience. Go do research on your target audience, understand them on a deeper level. And last but never least, decide on how much advertisement you're going to be purchasing and how much you're going to have to cover outside of that. So ads are not a one size fits all, and they're not going to fix every single issue in your business that needs to be fixed or addressed. If you have, a disorganized system of intake, but you are trying to increase sales, getting a website isn't necessarily going to fix that, right? So you might see the website help with bringing people there, but that's not going to fix the disorganized system if you don't have a place where people can go and contact, leave a form, be assisted, things like that, right? So those are just some things to take into consideration. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give those 3 things because we have like 10 more or 12 more shows that I have to go through tonight or today. So the next one that I'm going to be talking about is for entrepreneurs. We're talking about why you might be struggling with gaining collaborations, or sales or leads, why you might be struggling with growing that business the way that you want to grow it. And then I'm going to go into some products and services that I'm highly recommending because they are top sellers in our community of shoppers, not just directory members, but shoppers too. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody. And join me in about 2 minutes if you want to be on our next conversation. Oh, and thank you for watching Patreon. I forgot Patreon was on.